talk a little bit tonight as I'm driving about some conversations I've been having. I'm finding out that there's a lot of people at this job that don't just work this job. So I'm trying not to be nosy, and I'm also trying not to reveal way too much about my own situations, because I don't really want other people, I don't know, like if something goes wrong at work, the last thing I want somebody to do is like out me and be like, oh, well, I know that this person sometimes was working on this or that, you know, and I just don't want anybody like assuming things that aren't truthful. Just because, you know, they want like, I don't know, there's like a lot of he said, she said. Like, I would say at this work site, one thing I'm noticing that's different from the therapy world, and I'm not saying that it's something that I'm like ultra sensitive to, really, is the gossipy stuff. Or just not even talking behind people's backs, not like, I don't know, like, but just how people are with stuff. They hear something and then they want to share with the world some kind of juicy news that they learned from somebody, and then it's like the game of telephone, how one person thinks they heard somebody say some other thing, and then it turns into some whole ordeal, you know, and then it's going to become like, okay, now they're going to make an announcement, like, no working on other money-making related tasks while you're at work, even if some days you have like 6 hours or something between tasks, and there's not even like scheduled tasks, but even if you have like 6 hours or something, so between when one task ends and another task comes up, so I just don't want to get too involved like that, because everyone's kind of on their phones doing their own personal stuff, and it's like, I don't feel like I need to like tell people what I'm doing, but I do kind of sometimes feel like people are like trying to look over my shoulder or look at my phone and see what I'm like doing. One person in particular, not really a lot of people, but I kind of get that sense that there's some people kind of snooping around, but yeah, and there's yeah, so I'd say someone runs a Discord server, and they live stream gaming, and I think there are certain types of sessions that they do that make a lot of money. I don't really know exactly what that is, because when I overheard someone speaking with others about it, I was kind of like, I was in the middle of doing something else, so I wasn't like fully attentive, and they also weren't like directly talking to me. Like at first I was in the conversation, and then I had to split off and like not be in the conversation because something came up, so I was actually taking care of work. But yeah, and that's how it is. Like if something comes up, of course I'm going to take care of it, but like right away. I'm not going to be like, oh, I'm in the middle of this conversation, unless it's a work related conversation and we're literally talking about work, and it's like something that is related to the job that I need to finish that conversation, then I'll basically finish that conversation. So yeah, I feel like that's kind of one thing that we have to where, I like to try to make sure I'm on point with things. But I'm being a little cautious about it. Like, I don't want to be too much talking about too much detail. Like, I'll talk about it with some people, but I'm not going to talk about all the details of what I'm doing. Because there is no, like, specific details of what I'm doing, because I can only really do it when I know that nothing else is coming up. And once I've finished the drafts for everything that I need to post at, like, 10 p.m. or something, and that's usually maybe starting, today we started that around 4:30, and I finished by, like, 5. And then the next task that came up, other than dinner that was like 7 p.m., the next task that came up was like probably near like 9 p.m. No, 8:45 or something, because it ended right before 10 p.m. So it was like an 11-minute task, and then I took the time to put in a ticket for that situation. So yeah, that was basically how the day looked. Like, I was super busy, like, early on. Like, the first, like, 2.5 hours are, like, crunch time. Super busy, rushing around. Sometimes that first 2.5 hours can be the first 4 hours. But still, you still have, like, all the rest of the shift. And so, unless things are just coming up back to back to back to back to back, that was just... that's just kind of how the day goes, and that's just how it is, at least right now. So I'm not gonna try to, like, force it. Like, we did extra stuff. We did a lot of extra cleaning indoors, tidied up, cleaned off. I wiped off the tables with, like, disinfectant wipes, and helped some people clean off the floors with something. Somebody dropped the cleaner and it exploded, and I basically went and, like, cleaned up the floor after the person, and made sure that near the door people wouldn't slip, and put a cone while it was drying, and then remove the cone, like that kind of stuff. Like, I'll pitch in. Like, I see something happening, I'm gonna pitch in, like, I see, we're moving tables because we need to put all the meals on the table. Okay, let's move the tables, like, I'm not gonna just, like, sit there and do nothing. But yeah, so one of the things is, like, Discord. Somebody runs a Discord server. It seems like they're, like, super into gaming, though. Like, they've got, like, so many games, and they are playing for, like, hours on end, and they do some kind of thing where it's like it takes maybe 4 to 6 hours or something. Like, it takes a really long time, but I think people have to pay to play that when it's available. And so this person's getting, like, paid when they live stream whatever that type of thing is. It sounds like some kind of hide and seek or sniper kind of thing. I couldn't really make out exactly what they were talking about, but it sounds like something that takes a while. And people really seem to like it, but it's like once it starts, they can't, like, stop doing it. So that's not something they're going to be doing, like, during a shift. But I'm just talking about things people are doing that are making extra money on the side. That's one of them, and I'm pretty sure they've developed that out for, like, years. It's not like a brand new thing. And that's another thing that I'm noticing is a lot of the people that are doing gigs, none of it's like their first rodeo. It's not like, oh, this is the very first thing I've ever worked on, except for one person who I've spoken with recently who was saying that they're doing a Shopify store. It's like a Shopify with what do you call it? It's a Shopify with I don't know what you would call it, like print-on-demand shirts for a certain niche. And yeah, it's a pretty nice looking store that they ran up. And so I was talking today about Etsy. talking about eBay, how eBay's a hassle, but Etsy, how Etsy is a, it's a platform that I've used for research before, because you can see if people are selling things on there. You can kind of see if someone else is able to sell it and market it, they're probably doing pretty good. So you can see where someone else is selling stuff. You can see where, like, a lot of times I would say the best method with that is go to Etsy. I don't know, maybe you're trying to make like cloth or linen cloth coin purses. I don't know. Let's just say that's what you want to do. You would go to Etsy and search that. Say there's somebody or multiple people who are making a lot of sales. You wouldn't want something too saturated, and you want something unique enough and high quality enough and in demand enough. And by the way, someone else, I'll just say this real quick before I go into that whole spiel. Someone else does these like cardboard cutouts. They're kind of like foam core cardboard cutouts where with the cutouts they 3D printed a stand and made like a wood stick as a kickstand, and so they basically do these large size like celebrities or like characters like Mario or I don't know, Luigi, Yoshi, like think like kids party theme is kind of where it's popular, but they could also do like cake toppers and other types of like kind of large size. It doesn't have to be like multiple feet tall, but it could still be like a foot tall, 6 inches tall, of like something that most people can't just like print. Like they have a certain type of paper that's adhesive on one end, and then they peel it onto the foam core, and they basically cut it out, and then after they cut it out, they do the kickstand. Like they've made like multiple bases for the kickstand and the stick, and they have their own kickstands that they've made, and they seem to sell pretty good. They use Facebook Marketplace for that. So okay, let's go back to talking about Etsy, what I was trying to say. So you're trying to sell cloth linen bags that you're making by hand, and so you can go on other people's Etsy accounts who are selling them. You can get a feel for how saturated the market is just on Etsy alone. I'm not even saying you have to use Etsy to sell anything. You can use Etsy just for research. Research it out on Etsy. It shows you oftentimes if people are getting sales. So if somebody else is selling it, that means there's a market for it. A lot of times people have their own personal domain name. So a lot of times you want to look for that. Look for their domain name. Find the person's domain name on Etsy. Now, this isn't going to work necessarily if they don't have a domain name. This next step isn't going to work if they don't have like a .com or .net or whatever. So find their domain name. Find their that's the main thing you're going to want to find, is their main store. Probably all their socials are going to be connected to that main store. So you'd want to see like their TikTok, their Instagram, their Pinterest, whatever, wherever they're posting, you want to see that. And then what you can do from there is you want to go to their website, put it into Ubersuggest, and basically what that does is you can search for their backlinks, and you can see where they've been promoting their website. You can't really see all the social stuff. Like you can, I mean, if they linked all their social media on their main page, which is why I say it works best when people have like an actual domain name, because a lot of times people might not put all that stuff on Etsy, or they might not be allowed to. I don't really know. Some platforms don't let you put links, or they don't let you say what your handle is, or they don't let you put at this, or say IG or TikTok or whatever. They don't even let you like use the terms. I don't know if Etsy's like that. I could be wrong. Etsy might let you plug your socials, but if they don't, a lot of people I've seen have like domain names to like a main website that's not Etsy, because Etsy does not let you, unlike Shopify, Etsy doesn't let you use your domain name and just turn it into a complete store. Same with eBay. They don't let you, like, they have different tiers of stores that you can like build for yourself, but they don't let you use your own personal domain name. So yeah, you're not going to be able to use your own domain name. And that's why people plug their own online stores, because they want traffic to their store as well. They usually have a store, but they're using Etsy for traffic as well. So usually Etsy, it might show all the products. It might show just one product that's popular. You could go to their domain name, whatever it is, .com, and then you're gonna, or whatever their domain name is, you can plug that into Ubersuggest, get the free trial. If you don't have it yet, cancel it if you don't want it, because it does cost a lot of money if you don't cancel it. But basically it helps you actually look at your own website, but you can use it for like analytics as well for other websites, for competitors. If you have the subscription version, you can basically make a campaign out of at least one. Like the lowest tier subscription, you can use one website at a time as the project, and you can put it as the main project that you're trying to figure out all of the analytics for, and then every time you go on there, it's going to show you the analytics for that website. But you can also look up other websites, which is what you would use Ubersuggest for. It gives you like, as if you were the site owner. It gives you like SEO information. It gives you domain rankings. And if you have their access to their socials on their, either on their main domain name web page or on their Etsy or whatever, you can look at their socials. Usually TikTok and Instagram are going to show any kind of like products that somebody's trying to sell, or links that they have. It's easier to find them on Instagram and TikTok. You can just scroll through past posts, and then you can also look on TikTok to see if they have TikTok Shop. I think depending which platforms, you can kind of use TikTok Shop in other ways too. I think you can use it with other platforms too. So you would use TikTok Shop, see what's on their TikTok Shop. You could see the reason why Instagram and TikTok can be important is because you can put short video advertisements, little short clips of like the products kind of like in motion and in use, or people show how they make the products, or people might live stream on Instagram about their business, or might just live stream just in general to get people kind of engaged. But yeah, you can look up everything that way, and you can find pretty much all the statistics about a site, and you can basically figure out all the information that you want to find out, just about especially the backlink information. You could find the domain rankings and all this other kind of stuff. What just happened? There's a police right next to me and they just spun off. But yeah, you would have the domain ranking, you would have the domain name, you'd have the backlinks, you'd have a lot of information. They give you SEO information, they give you I guess the importance of the backlinks is you can see like where they've been posting, and you can see like how they're promoting and almost how often they're promoting. You can see that with Instagram and TikTok too, and you can kind of go off of that model. You can see like how long they've been in business and how long they've been promoting and what they're doing. Now, I'm not saying scrub their socials and take their information. I'm saying make your own content that's similar style. Like if they're doing good with like 10-second little TikToks linked to like a TikTok shop, okay, then that sounds like it works. You know, if they're doing just like live streams of them like making the pouches, then that probably works, you know, if people are tuning in. You want to figure out where they're getting their traffic and kind of just like don't fully copycat, but just understand what they're doing so that you can kind of do it in your own way. You don't have to do it exactly like them, but you know, at least it gives you some kind of direction on how often to post, how long to post, what types of posts, how many followers you should probably try to get to on your Instagram or TikTok, what types of followers. Like if you go back, if you can see through their followers and stuff, and everyone's not private, like you can go through the followers and try to see if there's a certain theme. Like maybe they're connected with certain types of communities. Like maybe for some reason they've got a bunch of LGBT communities that they're connected to, and for some reason those audiences are buying these pouches. Almost like, you remember when people were kind of wearing the fanny packs like kind of across their chest, like it was like a kind of style. And I know oftentimes in the queer community that kind of took off, and so you would kind of see people wearing like a fanny pack, but it was kind of like draped across their chest or something, like a sash across their chest, like that. And you'd see people doing that. And so back when that was kind of like a popular thing, you could have probably sold fanny packs to LGBT socials, through LGBT socials, you know, and tried to promote that way, because people probably would have liked that. I don't know if that's really a popular style anymore. I'm pretty sure people still do it. I don't know if it's gone out of fashion or what, but it was like a practical thing, because a lot of, and it wasn't just LGBT people, but it's like a lot of people don't like purses, and a lot of people need to carry stuff with them, and they don't want a feminine accessory. And so a fanny pack is very gender neutral, but it's also kind of dorky if you wear it like a tourist. And so the kind of sash style across the chest or across your back is got kind of popular, I think, for that reason, because it's like it's not a very feminine type of bag, and it serves the purpose of having extra pockets when you need to carry whatever it may be, tampons, lipstick, whatever it is that you're carrying, condoms, I don't know what you're carrying, but whatever you need the extra space to carry, because you don't want just carrying around in your hand, and maybe you don't want it in your pants pockets, but if you have an extra space to put it, you know, then that's one way to do it. And then if it's in the front of you, people can't really just open it from your bag, because something like that on your back, I could see how if you're in a crowded club or something, people could just be like unzipping your stuff. But yeah, that was kind of popular back then, and it got a lot of traction as far as that style. And I'm pretty sure I don't know, linen style, like pouches, cloth pouches. I don't know of anybody who's really like, oh, I need this drawstring pouch like that. Like maybe people who are collectors of like hogs or marbles, or you could put something little in it, but I would just use it for storage or something. But yeah, I don't really know of a niche where that's like, maybe for like Dungeons and Dragons, people who have like dice, people who have like little things that they're carrying around places with them, where they just kind of need to keep it all contained in one area instead of loose in your pockets. Like, I could find many uses for it, but I'm trying to think if there's like actually like communities that would like use that. I don't really know any specifically off the top of my head. But yeah, Etsy is a great wealth of resource. And eBay as well, even though eBay, I'm mad at them, but eBay can be a wealth as well. Because you can see what's selling, and you can see through buy now versus auctions. If people are actually getting active auctions where you can go through their eBay channel and they've sold so much of the same stuff. A lot of people sell variety, but when you come across people who have sold so much of the same stuff, sometimes that really comes in handy too, because you're just like, wow, they've really sold a lot of things. And then you're kind of just able to kind of take it from there. So yeah, if a lot of stuff is getting sold and a lot of stuff is getting kind of sold, purchased, then that's one way to look at it and be like, okay, well, if somebody else is selling this and they've been on here for like 6 years and they've sold like 5,000 of these things, you know, you want to see what it is they're doing. But don't just look at one account. Look at like a lot of accounts, you know, so that you kind of have like an understanding of kind of what would work for your model. Because you can kind of get a general overview of kind of what people are doing that's working for them, and hopefully that would work for you. So, alright, that's all I've really got to say about this. Hopefully you liked this episode, and I'm gonna go in the house. I just got home. So, thanks for listening.